Hello everyone, my name is Ayasha. I'm in school and I had a very difficult year so far. Maybe for somebody else this year was extra hard? If so, leave a plus in the comments. I don't know what happened to you, but I'm in a bad situation on all possible fronts. It's just awful. Last year, I started dating a guy from our school. He's from a wealthy family, very cool and handsome, and everyone even envied me. At first, I was really happy with him, but then I realized that he was not interested in me at all. He just had to date someone and wear an expensive watch and talk on the latest iPhone just for his image. He was unbearably arrogant and he spoke only about himself and his desires. But at the same time, he demanded that I, like a loyal dog, always be with him. I put up with this for a little while and then I got bored. And I tried to talk to him about this, but then I realized that it was useless and I decided to leave him. All the crazy stuff started from here. He got really mad and yelled at me and then threatened me, but I did not care. I had made a decision. After that, he came with flowers and a gift, but it was clear to me that he just wanted to make up so that he could be the one to break up with me, so I refused. But in reality, I actually liked him and I was very disappointed and upset that I was mistaken about him. I really thought that we could be together, but alas, it did not work out. Maybe I could have even fallen into a depressive episode, but then the next nightmare happened. My father was fired from his job because of the financial crisis. This was a huge tragedy for us. My mother did not work. She looked after the house and raised my younger sisters, and it took a lot of time and effort, and Dad was the only breadwinner in the house. We also had to pay the loan for our house. His dismissal meant that we could not only be hungry, but that we could also be left on the street. All of us in my family began to look for work for each one of us, but during a crisis, it is so difficult to get a job. It's just awful. And besides, my mother did not have the skills to work in her profession because after graduating from college, she was a housewife and did not work an office job. And I mean, someone had to be home with my siblings. In the end, they decided that I would also look for a job, and maybe I would be luckier with that. And I was lucky. I received an invitation from Mrs. Myers to take a trial week and work at her house as a maid. And if I can pass the trial period, I would then receive a very decent salary. And besides, you could work half a day, which means that my grades at school would not suffer. It was necessary to get this job. It was crucial. The next day, I went to work. It was a huge house with 3 floors, and everything inside of it was very beautiful. It turned out that they had a whole staff, a nanny, a cook, a cleaning lady who cleaned thoroughly, but I was needed to maintain the external order, to collect toys after the kids, put everything in place, wipe the crumbs, and bring whatever everyone needed, etc. It was not at all difficult, and my little sisters did things that were way worse, that sometimes you would have to clean the ceiling. The first day flew by unnoticed, and after the second day and then a whole week. And then Mrs. Myers said that I was great and that she officially was taking me for the position and even paid for a trial period with a bonus. I was very happy. Before leaving, she warned me that her eldest son was returning from the competitions tomorrow and that there would be one more room to take care of. On this day, I returned home and felt like a real hero. I brought money to the family and we could eat for that for a whole week. My mom burst into tears of happiness because Dad did not find a full-time job. He would only sometimes find temporary opportunities to earn money, but it was not enough in the long run, and I would have a stable salary with payment once a week. The next day after school, I arrived at work and everything started off as usual, and then I was asked to bring juice into the son's room. I took a glass, but when I entered the room, what I saw shocked me. Sitting at the desk was my ex-boyfriend. He told me to give him a glass of juice without even turning away from the laptop. And I stood there as if glued to the floor, and then he turned his head. There was a long pause, and then a nasty, evil laugh. He said, I really wanted to take revenge on you, and now I have a great chance because my wishes always come true. People like me always get whatever they want. At that moment, I really wanted to run away, but I couldn't because a lot depended on this work. I knew that it would be not easy for me now, but the question is, what exactly will he do? Do you have any idea how he will take revenge on me? What can he do? How do I deal with this? With these thoughts, I walked out of his room and went to the staff room, and then there was a call from him again, and now he was asking for another juice. He did not specify which one, just a different one. I took apple juice and then came back, and then there was another order and then another juice. So I took the grape one, and so it went like that 8 more times. I had a lot of other work to do, but I could not do anything, and he demanded that I was the only one to carry the juice to him. My legs were just falling off. I was already tired of running from the first floor to the second, and then he suddenly stopped. But then the children turned the living room into a battlefield. They scattered everything they could, broke a vase, and my boss really did not like it when the room was a mess, and so I had to put everything in order in 10 minutes. I made it in time, but I just did not go home. I literally crawled there. The next day, I went to work, already preparing for another nightmare. I did not know what to expect today, but clearly nothing good. Before my arrival, he allowed the kids to play with the water pistols inside the house, and the cleaning lady did not come on that day, so I had to clean and dry the entire first floor myself. The next time, he made his siblings pour paint on me for the joke. It washed off okay, but then I looked crazy, and besides, I had to wash not only myself but also the floors in the house. While I could not take a shower because I had no other change with me, and I had to go home looking like this. The next day, the whole school was buzzing. Not only did he put out a video where I was cleaning the floors in my uniform, and also there were videos of how I walked home in this stained uniform. It was a real shame. Everyone found out that I was a maid, and many laughed at me. But I couldn't tell everyone about my situation. I just ran home and cried for a long time. After lunch, I went to work again because I still could not find another job, and we needed that money. And then when I walked into the house, what I saw amazed me. My ex-boyfriend was standing in the middle of the living room, and from the above I heard a voice calling me. I went up the stairs and there was Mrs. Myers. Well, everything is assembled. It's time to start. Boys, start, she commanded at that moment, and a bucket of paint was poured on my ex's head, just like he did with me. And so, since you allow your little brothers to misbehave, moreover you teach them to do it yourself, then you too should experience all their pranks on yourself. She said, now clean things up, and you know how your father hates a messy living room. Lady, how much time did you have to clean up that same mess? She asked me. 20 minutes, ma'am. Yes, that's exactly how much time you have. Or did you think that the cameras are only there to spy on the staff? No, my dear son, I want my children to behave with dignity. I don't know what this lovely girl did to you, but I think we will discuss this with her in my office on the 3rd floor. And you bring us some juice and just don't make any more mess in the other rooms. We went into the office and I talked there for a long time. I told her my story and she listened to me carefully and asked who my father worked for. And then she said that working as a maid at a young age was not shameful, but still there were more worthy occupations for such quick and smart girls like me. She invited me to come with my dad to Mr. Myers' office tomorrow and grab my resume with me. And yes, while we were chatting, I drank as many as 3 glasses of juice. And perhaps my ex never cared about me as much as he did that day. And also, his mother threatened him that if he does not delete the video with my participation, then she will post a new video with him in it because the home cameras were all working properly. In reality, I felt really good about it. I never thought that I would get help from his mother because I did not even want to complain to her. She was his mom after all, and I thought that she would be on his side. But as my grandma says, kindness always gets her reward, and it seems to be true. Tomorrow, my father and I are going for an interview. Do you think we'll get the job, or will I have to fight with my ex in the future? If you like this story, then press the like button and leave us some comments. And don't forget to subscribe.